Am I the bad guy for breaking up with my boyfriend because of this? So, hello, I'm a female, 23. Have been struggling with dealing with my boyfriend's type for some time now, and I just feel completely hopeless at this point. When we first started dating, I used to look at his following list. I know it's a big mistake, and see women that didn't look anything like me. He was even liking each one of their most revealing photos on their pages. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm on the skinny side. I guess you could say I have a runaway model body type. I'm tall, I have really small cups and a small butt. My body shape is more rectangular. I don't wear face of makeup a lot or super revealing stuff. I try to ignore the fact that I didn't look like anything like. I think he obviously finds more appealing, but it just got worse. Eventually, I told him seeing the girls he follows on Instagram or Twitter makes me uncomfortable and asked if he could unfollow them. He had a huge argument, but after I expressed how insecure it made feel here, then unfollowed them. After the argument, weeks go by, and I'm in the car with him taking pictures on his phone and scroll through his gallery just to go through the pic I just took and see a girl. She's not naked or anything, but it looks like a screenshot of a video, and ask him who it was. And he said he didn't know, and he had no idea it was on his phone. I don't know why I felt so uneasy, but I did so. I asked him again when I go home that day. Then he said it was just an inside joke he was making with a friend and that it was actually his friend's girlfriend. Why does he need a picture of her? I didn't believe him, but I looked past it. On another occasion, once again I'm taking picture on his phone. He loves when I do this. And I go through his gallery again to check the pics I just took, but this time I see a girl literally topless, boobs entirely out. I realize it was a screenshot from an Instagram live, so I show it to him and again I ask who is this. He looked so shocked and starts saying he doesn't know and literally freaking out. I was so mad and forced him to take me home and literally starts freaking out and nearly crying and apologizing. I couldn't help but think he was apologizing because he got caught, not because he getting off the other girls while in a relationship. I looked at the date of the picture and it was so recent too. I wanted to throw up. I then asked him if he has a sex or porn addiction and he says he does and started to tell me how it started when he was young and it's been a horrible habit ever since. I was so disgusted, angry. Still, I couldn't help but think he was just saying that because he wanted me to sympathize with him, so I didn't break up with him. Then he told me he will delete everything sexual pictures of women on his phone. He told me he wanted to change and I could check his phone anytime. He goes on this long spiel about how he loves me. He's only attracted to me, doesn't care about or want those women he had pictures, videos of. Get this, he even says he doesn't like girls who look really good like that in real life because he believes they are not clean. So basically, I'm not a really good looking kind of girl, and he's settled for health reasons. The following list already had me hurt, but knowing that he was literally saving the stuff to get off the just made me even more sad. Once again, the girl in the picture was snapped the complete opposite of him. I'm snapped, which further made me think how he's really not even attracted to me, which he basically said anyways. I started to find myself wearing more makeup than usual and wearing more skimpy clothes whenever I would go out with him. I started to compare myself to girls he lusts after and thinking maybe I should do my hair like them or wear this type of stuff and take pictures on my socials like this because that's obviously what he likes. Of course, I can't change my body unless I get surgery to look more like them. I just started to feel super unattractive because I could never be exactly what he fantasies about. Even started sending nudes to keep him satisfied. I just hate how I feel like he's really just settling for me because those girls don't know he exists or probably even want him, but if they did, we wouldn't be together. He had finally have his dream girl. I've expressed this stuff to him and he continues to tell me how much he loves me, how attracted he is to me, how I'm the prettiest girl he's ever been, how he thinks about no one else but me, and the porn was just ruining him, but I can't believe he's still. I know that is crazy, but one day I got the password and went on his private Insta account on my phone. And he had so many girls his side pictures saved. Literally just thirst traps and soft core porn. He even messaged an Instagram model, I'm assuming the girl he really wants. I started to feel at my worst again. He said it was before we date, but I don't know, I guess you can say I do struggle with major self-esteem issues. I've tried to break up with him so many times, and he will just send me flowers, write me a low note, and just got me a promise ring to show how he committed he is to me. He keeps assuring me he's not that kind of guy anymore, but I don't know what he does or who he is when I'm not around. Even when we're being intimate, I can help, but I think I'm not enough and he's imagining someone else. I've started to hate my body more than anything. I got into a really heated argument over the phone with him yesterday and basically broke up with him and blocked him on everything. He basically admitted he couldn't have gotten with any other girl but choose me. That was my breaking point. This time, I don't plan on going back. I don't know how many flowers he sends or private accounts he makes to message me on online. I do, maybe did love him outside of all this, but I can't help but think my insecurities are never going to go away, so I feel like I had no choice but to it. This was my first real relationship. I can't believe it ended like this. Am I the bad guy for getting my drunk female friends into danger? Hello, I'm a male 25. Went with my girlfriend clubbing 2 nights ago. It was supposed to be girls' night out, but since my girlfriend knew that she wouldn't be getting that old drunk, she asked me to tag along. I did tell my girlfriend I had a curfew since yesterday. I had work, so I can stay out too late. She was okay with it, and we went. So we get there to the party and got really drunk, not much of a big deal, until I realized her 5 other friends has not made any plans to go home. They didn't prepare any grab home or anything. So I had to kind of get all their addresses while they were that drunk to get them home. I wasn't going to drive them all home, and it was actually past my curfew at the point. And my country doesn't allow me to call a grab for other people, so I could only flag down a cab and give them the addresses I was told. I flagged down a cab for 4 of them, and I drove one home since she lived nearer to my side of the town. Yesterday morning, 6 a.m., one of them called me crying saying that I gave the driver the wrong address, and the drivers dumped her at the side of the road. She started blaming at me, and is now angry that I don't recognize the danger women can be in. I told her I wouldn't be concerned for her safety, but she's okay, and she's an adult, so I'm not really responsible for her. Word spread around the group chat, and all of my girlfriend's friends are now demonizing me for putting them in danger. They think I should have drove them home since I drove that one other girl home. My friends agrees that I should have been more careful, but thinks they're not my responsibility, so she defended me. Now she risks losing her friends group. So I would like to add that there is no way to squeeze 7 of us into my car. I gave the driver address, which was what I found from the ID. Apparently that was her old address, and she didn't update it. I did ask her several times whether it was correct, and she confirmed it. But I guess she was too drunk. Also, I paid for all their cab fees. I don't know if they had to pay extra, but the drivers won't take them if I didn't give them a deposit first. I also did give them my number if they had any problems, specifically to the drivers as well. Also, my girlfriend told them beforehand we will be leaving earlier than them at 1 a.m. As for myself, I've learned a lot. I'll be honest, I was super unhappy and was probably looking for some online justifications. But I do see the flaw in how I handle this, and I will do better if situation like this arises again. And no, I will not be dumping them in the club. It's just wrong, and I don't think my girlfriend would have agreed either. So, write in the comments below what they think. Am I the bad guy for yelling at my mom after she fat-shamed my pregnant sister on her wedding day? So my sister is getting married and pregnant. Just to clarify, my sister is my half-sister, different moms. And my sister had a terrible life with my mom and dad, meaning they abused her mentally and physically. My dad made it up to her when she was 19, after he finished his anger therapy, and gave my sister apologizes and paid for her college. Slowly, they made up. However, my mom still hates my sister. My sister's mom filed for full custody when my sister was 10, and they moved when she was 13. I was 3 and 6, and my little brother was 1 and 4. I have small memories of when I would fight to get a picture of my sister, and of her having beat up faces after talking with my parents. Some people say my mom was jealous of my sister because me and my brother call her mom. Now, on to what happened. Sorry for the long explanation of the trauma. Me and my sister and a half. When my sister went dress shopping, my uninvited mother showed up and demanded to join them. Then she went on to get the dresses that would cover my sister's belly, and when my sister refused and got one that showed it but it looks amazing, she started saying it's already bad that she is pregnant during her wedding. She was kicked out after that. My sister still let her come to the wedding as my dad's plus one. I wanted her to kick that woman out, but whatever. Then when the wedding day came, we all thought she was over it. We thought wrong. During the speeches, my mom grabbed the microphone when my dad was speaking and started shaming my sister and said that God will punish her to miscarry her baby. I was mad, so I yelled, "You're going straight to hell, witch!" And I looked back to my sister in tears. Some of her bridesmaids, including my wife, took her to the bathroom and fixed her mascara. It has been 2 weeks and my grandma, aunts, uncles are calling me bad guy for touching on the topic of God and hell. My mom is very serious about that. So I don't think I'm a bad guy. But am I? Am I the bad guy for calling my husband rude for his constant farting? Okay, I'm sorry to bring farts into this discussion. So, my husband is a very gassy person. I understand everyone has gas and it has to come out, but he farts too much. It's not just letting them sleep, then excusing himself. It's left leg forcefully push it out and laugh. 9 of 10 times it seriously sounds like he has pooped his pants. I've expressed countless times I wish he would excuse himself if he feels on coming out, but he just doesn't. I finally snapped this morning and told him I thought he was rude and disrespectful. He claims I'm in the wrong because he should be able to fart in his own house when he feels the need. I do agree, of all places where you gas is okay, it's in your own house. But I've asked him in the past if he will do that in front of my grandmother in our home, and he said he would not because it would be rude. I told him to pretend I'm my grandmother in this situation then. and he has completely disregarded it. He thinks I'm being unreasonable for asking him not to just fart loudly and dramatically every time the feeling comes over him. But I think he's being rude and disrespectful, but not considering that I don't want to breathe in and smell his gas nonstop. So am I the bad guy for telling my husband he's rude and disrespectful and needs to take his bad trumpet elsewhere? Am I the bad guy for sending my parents extra money every month instead of spending it to my girlfriend? So, hello? We are both have full-time jobs and have been living together for 2 years. We have separate bank accounts. She has no problem with pointing out every little thing she wants me to buy her. I normally tell her that this item isn't in my budget, but if she wants it, she should buy it for herself. Now I'm not cheap, she does get gifts from me. Christmas, birthdays, date nights, anniversaries, Valentine's days, and etc. I pay for all that. But the random $300-400 shoes, when she has plenty, not in my budget. She does pay her own phone bill, and we split the home expenses. And also, purpose for the story is her finding out how much I've been sending my parents each month. That being $500 till $1,000 each month. They're both on a form of SSI. And because they are married, they each only get half what they should be getting. They both work most of their lives. Both can no longer work. With life, as it is now, for the past few years I've been helping them. She knew this, just know how much. She expected $100-200 a month. She found out when our takeout guy girl called us do the mess up in our order. I was busy, so she answered my phone. After hanging up, she backed out of the phone app and my bank app was still open. I guess her curiosity got the best of her because she decided to start scrolling and found my most recent payment to my parents. She asked why I need to send them so much, and after a road talk, she found out how much I've been sending. She didn't like the fact that I could afford to send all that to them, but not buy her insert random thing she wanted. Keep in mind, when it comes to her buying me gifts for Christmas, birthdays, date nights, anniversary, Valentine's Day, etc., she doesn't. To her, girls don't buy gifts for their guys. She is the gift, her words. She'll occasionally buy me a little thing, nothing more than a few dollars at a time. Again, she has her own full-time job. We both get up in the morning and go to work. We both take care of our apartment. We take turn cooking, each being better at cooking sometimes than the other. But back to her issue with the money. She wasn't happy at all. Got on my case about being financially abusive and a bad boyfriend because I don't drop hundreds of dollars on her on a friend. When I told her that she makes just as much as I do and that we split finances equally and that she should have plenty to spoil herself with, she got testy and told me that it was different. That's her money and that is my job to take care of her. I'm taking care of her, just not dropping money on things neither of us needs. I knew from past experiences that she'd get muddy when I didn't buy her expensive things, but until recently I never seen her flip over money that wasn't hers. We aren't engaged or married, so this is a new side of her that I'm not liking. So am I the bad guy for sending my parents money instead of spending it on my girlfriend? Am I the bad guy for telling an elderly lady she can't skip the line at the bank? So we went to the bank today and it was extremely busy when we got there. It was around 1:30 at the afternoon and we had to be home and finish before 2:45 to pick up our kids. There were around 7 people ahead of us and only 2 staff members to help us, so as you can imagine it was moving pretty slow. An elderly woman came in behind us and skipped the line. The cashiers told her she had to go back and join the end of the line and wait. Instead of doing this, she walked over to the seating area close to where we are all queuing and sat down. More people came in and joined the line. After around 25 minutes, we got to the front and she walked over and walked in front of us and said she was with the woman in front of us. This wasn't the case, and the woman in front didn't know her. She said this. Then she said it's okay, because the woman in front was saving her spot. At this point, my partner said, in his exact words, "Actually, it's not okay. You need to join back like everyone else." The couple behind us nodded and agreed, but another woman in the seating area called him a bad guy and told him that he should just let her go ahead because she was older and we could wait longer than her. I didn't think he was wrong at the time. He didn't shout and he wasn't rude about it. But now I'm feeling a little guilty.